Boys, we're back with this deceiver here. This enemy of God. Oh, I've got 2 million subscribers on YouTube now. Yeah, good on ya. We found another one of the greatest hits from the many convos he's had with William Lane Craig. And just listen to this hideous, evil, and unethical bastard come after our boy. And by the way, before we get into it, wait till you see the fit on Bill. I think you're in for a treat.
An article that you wrote in response to this issue, and I suppose I should read what the point that he pulled out, which summarizes this position here. You said, so whom...
Look at this! Oh, yeah, now that is yellow. Look at this guy. Oh, Billy Craig, you fucking champion. He's going, I've got the mouth of a tortoise, and is that a tooth or my lip having a bit of dryness going on here? I might need some warts. Is there a faucet nearby to drip some liquids into me? He's got the collar of the shirt underneath this shield of a garment. Epic. Epic. All right, let's get to this. That was the real detail. Now let's hear the unimportant shit, which is what they're talking about here.
Whom does God wrong in commanding the destruction of the Canaanites?
Right.
Not the Canaanite adults, for they were corrupt and deserving of judgment. Not the children, for they inherit eternal life. So who is wronged? Ironically, I think the most difficult part of this whole debate is the apparent wrong done to the Israeli soldiers themselves.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what it would be like to have to break into some house and kill a terrified woman and her children? The brutalizing effect on these Israeli soldiers is disturbing. I must say that the disturbing thing to me there is I can't shake this feeling. And like I say, I have respect for you as a thinker and a philosopher, and I always enjoy our conversations. But hearing somebody talking about the slaughter of admittedly and explicitly innocent children, not to mention animals, as well as the eradication, driving out of an entire society, and to say that, well, the people who really suffered here were the soldiers who had to kill the innocent woman. It just, in a way that like I said at the very beginning of this.
Yeah, he was going to talk then, and he just bulldozed it. Gish gallop. Is that what you call a gish gallop? Let the man defend himself. Come on, Alex. Oh, such a rude little prick. Tell ya. Look at this smile. Totally authentic. Nothing menacing going on here.
Segment. There's nothing I can do, strictly speaking, to prove that there's no justification for this. But if there is anything that I've ever heard in my life that jumps out of a page with pure moral repugnance in the way that it meets my ears, it has to be something like that.
What a pussy. Oh, it jumps out more than anything you've ever heard in your life with moral repugnance. And old Bill over here has this totally non-forced smile glued to his fucking face the whole time. Like, I will grin through this entire diatribe, you little twerp, going up against God and Israel, ancient Israel. Do you hear what Alex said, though, then? He's missing the point. Now, let's dive into this, right? You're in ancient Canaan. And you could, it's like the modern world. You could take any example of just normal people. There's a little girl and she's brushing her hair, and mum's in the kitchen, folding some dough, making bread, if this is all time and historically appropriate references. They're playing Xbox. And you hear screaming, the blood-curdling cries of your grandmother down the road, ripped to fucking pieces and beheaded. Fires start emerging, smoke, there's shit going on everywhere. The little girl, she's panicking. The fear is enough to scare you and terrify you as her mother. And these Israeli soldiers kick the door in and start sawing off her head immediately. And you're there squealing and crying, and they just fucking gut you from puss to fucking cranium with an axe. And with all that said, and that's just one example, multiply it by 1,000 or whatever. This insolent, totally disingenuous interlocutor here, he doesn't even factor in, like, if you're the Israeli army, like, imagine by the time they got to that house with the hypothetical girl and mother we've referenced here, imagine how tired his arm is. He's been swinging that fucking axe all afternoon, all right? So he's probably got some fatigue, A. B, his armor is probably, I mean, it'll be rusting from the amount of gore and intestinal tract from children he's got on it. So who knows what kind of maintenance that's going to require. I mean, the list goes on. And think about what he's had to witness. He's going, oh, my God, look, through my eyes, I'm seeing all these poor people be killed. You know, I mean, let's hear Bill, but I think I've made my case for him here. And Alex is just, he's got to stop. He's so disingenuous.
Well, I've really thought hard and dispassionately about this.
Dispassionate is the word,
Alex, and I tried to think as hard as I could, who has been wronged in this action? And it's very difficult to think of anyone who has been wronged by God in commanding this. And
I know, imagine there's a guy who's just a laborer by day, but now he's a human inferno writhing on the ground. Like, picture Bill is like in spirit floating above the scene, and he's looking, and there's a guy there going, and you can hear a bunch of horses getting their heads cut off and pigs getting burnt and decapitated. And Bill's just there with his hand on his chin going, I can't for the life. This is a brain teaser. See, I'm with him.
And then it hit me, well, what about the Israeli soldiers themselves?
And then it hit him.
Because we do know from soldiers who suffer from PTSD that the brutalizing effects of war upon soldiers is terrible. And
I heard that the guy who dropped the bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, I heard that he got vertigo when he was up there. So there's victims in everything is what I'm trying to say. By the way, but has Bill revealed that he's actually a serial killer? What's this skull going on back here? It looks like he's a time traveler. This is like Neanderthal-esque skull. He's going back in time. Maybe he's going back to Canaan.
It can be destructive. And so I explore at some length, what about the wrong done to these soldiers who had to carry out this command? Is there any motivation that might justify giving such a command to them? In the original article, I suggest that yes, indeed, there are goods that would be achieved by having them carry out this command, and that God would have morally sufficient reasons for doing that. That's in my original question of the week, number 16, if people are
and who are we to disagree? If the Almighty of the Old Testament tells you to do something, you do it, and it's good. By the way, guys, all this moralizing over this clearly innocent act from the Israelis back then, I just want to take a moment to commend Bill on this. Now, this is what we call in ancient Latin, in scientific terms, the receding hairline. Now, I don't have the fortitude, the wherewithal, or the masculinity to maintain such a ferocious look, visage, if you will. I shaved my head when I started losing hair, like a total bitch. Bill comes in here with his hairline starting at like the crown of his head. Beautiful silver locks here. He's dehydrated and he's still toughing through this essentially hit piece that Alex has put on him. Let's be real. This is a hit piece. He's got his books, which means, he's smart. Very smart guy. I mean, we already talked about this. This is the Immaculata Clothificum. Yes, it's a holy garment. It's a vestment. Anyway, back to this pointless shit.
Interested in following it up, where I argue that, in fact, even the soldiers themselves would not be wronged by God issuing such a command. But I was looking for anybody.
He can't handle it. Look at him. His whole worldview's been melted right before his eyes, looking down, not looking eye to eye with him through the camera. This is weak shit, Alex. I mean, come on. His face.
That God had wronged. And, the atheist philosopher, British philosopher Daniel Came, responding to this sort of tiff between Dawkins and me, he said, I think that even though I'm not a Christian, he said Craig's position is entirely reasonable, that the children are not wronged in inheriting eternal life.
That's right. I'm not a Christian either, and I agree. See, this is why I'm an asset to religious people, because I'll back yous. It doesn't matter what you say. As long as you chuck on a nice little fucking onesie like this and have dry lips like this and a manic expression in general on your face, I'll back you. And like as he said, as the great man just said, I don't see a problem with these children inheriting the kingdom. So it's got me fucked. Fuck me sideways, boys.
We're all going to die. Someday many children do die, and God's taking the life of these children doesn't commit a wrong against them. It's actually, they're good. Now, don't let anybody say, well, then we ought to go kill children. No, that would transgress.
Oh, he got me. You sneaky guy. I was just going to say, well, BB says Amalek's still up and about. So let's go and prematurely deliver the kingdom, if you know what I'm saying. And he's going, hang on. Hold on there, Dawson. Hold on there, Toyce. Don't go taking them out now. Because the covenant and the thing and the holy transgression and let's let him wrap up here. I'm getting over it.
It's a divine command against homicide, and therefore, in the absence of a divine command, that would be morally wrong. It is only.
Now, I just noticed something. Look at this arm moving. Pay close attention to this arm.
Entirely reasonable that the children are not wronged in inheriting eternal life. We're all going to die. Someday many children do die, and God's taking the life of these children prematurely doesn't commit a wrong against them. It's actually, they're good. Now, don't let anybody say, well, then we ought to go kill children. No, that would transgress a divine command
is he gonna do
against homicide. And therefore, in the absence of a divine command, that would be morally wrong. It is only
what are you doing?
This divine command.
Let's keep our heads out of the fucking gutter, boys. He's scratching his leg, okay? He wasn't looking upwards and slowly moving his arm back and forth under the desk while talking about the mass slaughter of children. That's not something Doc would do. All right, and with that, have I mentioned his shirt yet? No? Well, his shirt fucking rules. All right, I'm over it. Later.